Hello, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Khandakar Rizwan Ahmed. Today I'm going to demonstrate about how to use the OpenRefine tool for data cleaning or data manipulation. Here you can see a documentation that you could follow to use OpenRefine. Basically, OpenRefine can be used to standardize and cleaning different kinds of data. It in a particular file you can clean a group of data also using this OpenRefine. Actually, OpenRefines allow you to do more data cleaning type of things than spreadsheets or Excel or other applications. So here is the official documentations of OpenRefine, but here is another documentation that you could also follow. This documentation is by Data Refinery, um, Data Carpentry, OpenRefine. So from here, you can download your OpenRefine files, actually OpenRefine application. There are several kits for OpenRefine, like here Windows kit. Basically, I got to know that OpenRefine is a Java-based application, basically. So if you have Java SDK or IDE installed on your system already, so you could just download this Windows kit. I thought in my local machine I have Java installed, but I forgot that few years back. I actually removed it from my local machine. So when I try to download these files, it doesn't work. So I have to download these files. So after downloading, clicking here, you will download a file like this. You download a zip like this. If you extract this zip, it will somehow look like this. Okay. And the data set on which I will be working today is this data set. So also this data set I have downloaded from this source. This source here is the data files also mentioned. So just click here and the data file will already get installed in your machine. Will get installed in your machine. So let's get into our work. If I click here, actually how this OpenRefine works, it basically will um, run as a command prompt. Here you can see, and this command prompt will redirect to your PCs. It will search for your default browser and it will run to your local host port 3333. So it's running. Sorry for the inconvenient as my machine is a little bit slow. So here you can see how the IDE looks like for OpenRefine. Here's the page. So the leftmost corner here you can see you can create a project. You can existing project, open an existing project. You can import a project. Import a project means you can import from a zip file. And here is the language settings. So today I'll create a new project. So if I create a new project, here it says I could create a project with TSV files, CSV files. SV means XLS or XLX file, JSON or XML, and other files. So here I want to create a new project. So where should I get the data from? It should came from my local computer. I could download from any web URLs, clipboards, or database, and other. So for now, I will stick to this computer. I will select this one and choose the files. So here's where the file is saved. You have to go to this location as I've already tried. I have redirected to it. Um, Here I have to select this file. The file will name will show here. Okay, the file name will show here, and then I have to press next. Okay, if I press next, it will preview me the data, my data file. Okay, so in my file, the first row was the header. So here you can see the system, the OpenRefine tool automatically detect that the first row is my header. And you should also be glad to know that I renamed my file as CSV, but the file should be some other formats. It seems like my file is a JSON file, but I renamed it as CSV. But that's not the feasible issue. So what OpenRefine do is it automatically detects the files inside my files, whether the file is a JSON or a TSV or a CSV or other. Okay. So here you can see a preview is created, a preview of my file, my data set is created. Um, mm, so below here you can see the character encoding is UTF-8. So here are some other encoding as well. The column. So as it's my it's a CSV file. Um, the separator should be comma. But there's in a CSV file, there should be some other separators as well. There should be tabs. There should be semicolons. There should be pipelines. If there's comma, I could select this point. If it's a tab, then I could select this one. But if it's a semicolon or a pipeline, at that time I could select this one and manually give a semicolon there. Okay, that's how it works. But as it's not, my file is not other uh, default, it's default comma separated, so I would stick to it. And then here you can see I have deselect this ignore first. That means I do not want to ignore the first one because it's my header. I should also want to add that. Then parse next means as my files have the first row as header. So first next what it will do is if I say row num one means it will recognize my first row as the header. Then comma separated column names are comma separated. Discard initial. If you want to discard the initials, you can select this one. If you discard the initial, so what does it do? If you select this and kind of put something here, so it will discard those number of rows and you will have the remaining number of rows. And load at most means it will load, if you put 100 here, so it will kind of load the first 100 and we work with that first 100 rows. So here's the common setup that you need to follow to create your project. Mm, Here's some other things you can also show. Store blank rows. Yes, I want to store the blank rows as blank. Store the blank cell as nulls. I would like to fill the blank rows with null values. Um, and I don't want to select the others. Here you can also store source file or store archive. You can select that also. One of the most interesting fact is you have seen I have select my files. So what does OpenRefine do? It doesn't work with my original file actually. What it does is it actually make a copy of my files into this tool OpenRefine, and it just create a project. That means whatever task I do here, it just don't affect to my original file. It just makes a copy of that file and works with that. Okay, so I think everything is fine here. I create the project, everything is fine. Okay, now I'm creating the project here applying this, clicking this create button. Now here you can see that my project has been created, and now I will go one by one the data carpentry documentation and see what's uh, there for us. So before we get started, I have mentioned you everything. It runs to my local host, and from where should we download the data files and others. And here, what is OpenRefine? You can get elaborate ideas by reading this also. It will basically help you a lot. It will help you a lot because it helps me a lot. It helped me. So let's get into our work. So first thing that I would like to show you, I have shown you how you should create the project, and now is kind of like faceting, interesting things that you could do with your OpenRefine with your data. So face it. I was not familiar with the term before. So what actually face itting is? It basically is kind of like grouping the uh, things of a column. I show you. If I face it, if I select here, drop down and face it, text face it. So what it will do, it will basically find all the unique values of this column and group them. Okay. So I can pronounce this one, but amphis pizza. So amphis pizza. What is this? I don't. I can't pronounce it. But here, you can see these things have 345. That means 345 rows has these values in their scientific name. That means of the unique, all the unique names that are being grouped here. Okay. So you can do that using faceit, text faceit. There are some other facet as well, text faceit, numeric faceit. So let's see what is the numeric faceit. So numeric faceit means faceit, numeric faceit, and it says, oops, no numeric value. Okay, that's another issue. So that means here in this column, the values are stored as a string, not integer or floating point values. So here, you could transform this cell using edit cell and transform and to number. So when I did that, when I do that, let's you are watching that everything in this row have become green. That means the type has been changed to string to integer. So now after I'm implementing a numeric facet here, that you can see that here is the histogram of the data that I want to show. So here you can see, you can select the group. Here's the group. So faceting grouping by year from 1991 to 1992. Here you can see the data is showing here. The data is here, the group. Okay. So after that, another thing here, I have facet, text facet, the scientific name column. Here, if I click this, only this 289 rows will see the show here. Let's see this one. Only 7. Here you can see only 7 rows are showing here. Okay. Now I could make this one and this one combined. This one combined using this include button. So now these two have become a new group. Okay. So using facet, I can make new groups in the data. Okay, and here, from here, by clicking the edit button, I can edit the names of the things here. Okay, so let's not just do that here. So faceting is kind of a filtering, a grouping kind of things together. Okay. Mm, uh, the next thing that I want to show here is babysitting is done. Then you can see about the clustering. So about the clustering is kind of like a grouping, but it's more like a grouping kind of things, more like a faceting kind of things. Um, let's see here the facet and text facet. Here, when I click on the text facet, you can see a cluster here. Okay, so let's just explain one thing for first. Here in the first two, okay, they're almost identical, right? Something like what is the difference between them? BILINEHEA. Um, Not this one. Let's just focus on this one. This and this one is different just by one I, right? One I. Uh, and this one has just one value. So it could be possible that because of typo, typing mistake, you have put double I here. So these things shouldn't go like that. Okay. But what OpenRefine allows you to do is when you click cluster, and I would like to make a key collision and his metaphonic. So here you can see that it actually detects the similar kind of almost similar names and group them as one. Isn't it interesting? It's very interesting. And when I click yes, I would like to make this as this name, or I could change the name here, and I merge and recluster them, so it's become a group, one group. So it's very interesting. And also I could merge them also, and also could make them as one. And after doing it, I'm going to backward and do this again. Everything, every key collision, everything, ngram fingerprints, nothing is found there. Selecting this one, also select those as also as one. It's, yeah, OpenRefine is an intelligent tool. It actually did uh, pick up the similar names and make them as one group, and allows you to do your things more quickly. Also, so it's taking times and it's done. So no cluster are found. So the clustering is done. So it actually combines the whole data. So it's very interesting. And then splitting up. So using this scientific name, edit column, split into several columns. If you're kind of if you're Oh, here you can see an edit button. You can edit this cell using this edit button, using the name. You can change the name, change the type of this field only. That's interesting. Okay. Then what I was going to say, splitting the tables. Here you can click here, edit column, split into several. When your column has multiple words, spaces between them, comma, or everything between them, you can split them. Here in the column button, split into several columns. So this window will pop out, and here's by default a comma is there, but there's no comma in my column. So there's space. So I'm putting a space. And split into columns at most. I don't want to select this by length field. No, not by length field. Split into two columns. Okay. And if I click OK, here you can see Here you can see the column has been uh, divided into two new columns, but where's my previous column? I want to bring it. Okay, you can do it. Here in the field, you can see here in this side, you can see undo and redo. Click here. Okay, so split, go to here. Okay, so what undo and redo allows you to do actually, it keep tracks of what you are doing. At first, remember we create a project, then we create this one. We have converted these rows into number. So when I click this, everything was as before, as first time. As first means as the most early beginning what we are doing. And when I click this one, see these colors become green. That means when I click some, these are kind of like task we are doing. So when I click a task, all the previous one should reflect, but beneath the selected one, nothing is done. So I want to bring my previous column, that was the task, right? Because when I split my column, it actually vanishes my main scientific name column. So just select the previous one, and if I click apply, oh no, I don't have to click apply. So yeah, okay, so I have to select this. Okay, so nothing I have to do. I have to select that, and I could do the things. From here, could it be deleted? Mm, I think we can't delete this from here. Okay, let's not just delete that. Let's keep that, no problem. Or just select this, and yeah, we are good to go. We don't have to select this. Okay, okay. So after that, what can we do? We can undo. I have shown you what is undo and video. So next one is filtering. Filtering is basically um, a text filter. Yeah, text filter. It's kind of like searching the things. Searching the things here in scientific name which contains BAI. Show me. So in scientific name, the which contains BAI. Here you can see. Okay, so it's kind of like filtering out the things. Here you can also select case sensitive if you should be aware of uppercase or lowercase. You can select that from here. Okay, and using faceit we can also do that, because here by BAI you can see we have 46. Okay, and in this we have two. Okay, two values. Okay, so remove this, and then what do we have? We have sort. Okay. So we could also use sorting in our mm, column. Here sort, three dot, face it. Now, if your column is a text column, or if your column contains text values, you can select this text button, and A to Z mean ascending order. You can also select Z to A descending order. And the most interesting fact is there are 35,549 values in your row. Okay, so it is obvious that after doing some operations, there might occur some error. There can be some valid values, and there also in some rows there could be blank values. So you can also rearrange them by just clicking them and dragging, dropping them. Okay. So first I will have some blank values, then I will have errors, and then I have my valid sorting. Okay, so let's select this. And here you can see this, the facet has been sorted. A, B, C, D by A, B, C, D. Okay. I can, if I click this one. So I would like to see first 50 rows, not 10 rows. Here you can see scientific names are blank. Then will come the errors. Here you can select many things like 500 rows or other. And also you can remove the sort, or you can reverse the sort. Okay, I'm removing the sort here. So everything is fine as before. Then what do we have? Then we don't have anything here. Then after we have some other things to show, like some scatter plotting things. It's kind of like let's make some rows mm, as you know, when I select my file, my Excel file, CSV file, all the things here are selected as string column, string column. All the columns are uh, mentioned as string. So I have to manually do these kind of things, have to transform them with, what do you say, to number. Here you can see that here you can also undo from here. Then plotting, I could also make some. Here some other things are also, I can join columns, split columns, move column to the beginning, move column to the end, right? Here you can also use that also. Common tables, expression to numbers. And now if I would like to use the scatter plotting, basic scatter plot. So what it will basically do is it will plot the things, year versus period, year versus plot. Now if I select this, here you can see I could have a window, pop-out window here. So actually this is scatter plotting helps us to identify potential outliers. Here I can select this group of data just, okay, here you can see, and here there's no data. So using this scatter plotting, you could also achieve what you are doing, or what you could do. Okay, this is a very useful thing also. Then what is there for me? There's nothing. Yes, script, the most interesting part here. Here in the undo redo part, here are all the things that I have done. Okay, so I have mentioned that if I select this one, the below one will get removed from what we have done. So I select this one, and if I click extract, so the most interesting fact is here is the script has been generated. A script means a code snippet is generated about all the works that I have done here. So what it will help, if I save this into a notepad file, if I save this to a note, if I copy this, let's copy this, and um, new a new text document, name it as script, and if I open this and if I paste the script here, Control S, and somehow my electricity is gone, or somehow something other happens, or I need to do this whole process again to a new machine. So what I will do is basically I will go to OpenRefine, I'll create a new project, and I'll go to apply, and I'll just pull the file here. And if I perform the task, I just pull the file, and if I perform the operations, or if I actually Control V, perform this, save that files. I don't think I could be able to pull the file. Sorry. From the text file, if we copy paste and perform the task here, all the things that I did here will also be done to the new project. Okay, so that's a very interesting thing. Let's cancel this one. So after doing all these kind of things, if I export this project, OpenRefine archive to file, so it will automatically download to my new machine, my local machine, download file, and it will be downloaded in somewhere here. Here you can see it's downloaded here. Let's take it from here and paste it to our file. And here we have our new file, new project here. Extract it here. And yeah, we have our all the things we have. Okay, let's Control Z it here. Yeah, we have our data files also here. Okay, so I should have copy it to a new file. Let's just delete the history, data, metadata, old, not the script. Delete this and just paste it here and extract to this file name. Okay, so everything's fine. So here you can see the zip data where your data is saved. Unzip this, you will find your data. So this is how OpenRefine work. Thank you for this brief overview of how OpenRefine works. Thank you for joining. And let's hope for the best of upcoming days. Thank you.